Hi all, welcome to the channel SQL in minutes. I hope everyone is doing well. And so today's topic is on, let's say, SQL components. So we will discuss what are the different SQL components and why we need this, right? And starting with SQL components. But before going here, right, I will just wanted to let you know the approach for today's video. So I have created a PPT, right? We will go through this PPT and later on we will try to do an hands-on using SQL Server as well. Okay, so starting with the different SQL components we have, right? It's DDL, DML, DSL, and TCL. So coming to what are the different operations it will help us to do, right? DDL is nothing but data definition language. So whenever you have tables or let's say schemas, right? You want to create that, right? First step would be creating the structure, right? Database structure. So how we can create? We can create using DDL create command, right? If we want to modify the structure, right? Maybe you want to add some column or let's say drop the table or truncate the table, right? Or let's say truncate respect to data object, then we can use this DDL. Coming to DML, it is I think one of the important operation in the SQL component where it deals with the records and rows of the table, right? Or the views, let's say. So how it will be helpful for us, right? So once we create an empty structure, right, we need to insert some records, right? Using insert command, we will uh, achieve this and going to update any record, right? Or delete any record, we will use DML operation only. So coming to DQL, it is the most important, I can say, SQL component where it uses a one command called select, right? Using select, you will design the data logic for you. Maybe if you want to use some functions or an analytical functions, right? And fetching some records from different tables using joins, right? So I think it's a key component of SQL components where you will help this component will help you to fetch the records from tables, right? So it is one of the important part of SQL to communicate with tables, right, or database objects. Now coming to DCL, data control language, it is more or less like let's say admin related activities, right? It can help you to manage your permission or let's say access control, right? It includes grant and revoke commands. And coming to TCL, it's again transaction control language where it will help you to maybe commit, rollback, and save point, your transactions in your SQL, right? So basically, it uses, let's say, a store procedure where you will pass this kind of, let's say, operations. It will help you to maybe save, right? What are the work you are doing, or maybe do a drawback, like withdraw it, right, or roll back it. And save point is nothing but like a marker we have, right? We will maybe we will give a marker on your transactions, right? So yeah, coming to again DDL. So if you see here, I have provided an example how this DDL will work into different commands using create, alter, drop, and truncate. So here I have used employee table with three columns: ID, name, and salary. And alter table is nothing but here you will modify your columns, let's say a structure we can say, right? Where here in this example we are adding a department with size of 50. Then we can use some deletion operation as well using DDL, using drop and truncate commands, right? So what's the difference between truncate and drop is truncate is something which will keep your schema intact. That means your table will be there, but there will be no records. But drop is something which will remove your table as well with your schema. So again, it's a same insert, update, delete operation where it is done using DML, right? You're inserting few records in your table, right? Updating a record, let's say ID equal to 1 using employee table, right? We are setting some salary equal to 6,000, and then at the end we are deleting the employee with ID 1, right? So this is also DML operation. Here, DQL, it's a select query, simple select query. We are selecting from employees, and if you want to see another example, we are trying to get the employees list of employees whose salary is greater than 50,000. So here we are giving a simple query where we are fetching name, salary, columns from employee where salary is greater than 50,000, right? And as I mentioned, right, data control language is nothing more or less like a permission, right? Here we are granting the permission of select to this username, whatever the username which we have, right? Again, we can revoke using the same select query. So here transaction control language is nothing but let's say you are starting some transaction, then you are doing some transaction, and then you are committing it, right? And then if you think that this is something which I don't want, right, as expected, then you can do a rollback as well, right? There is a save point as well that you can mention in this, store procedure usually uses this kind of operations, TCL operations. Now moving to hands-on, right? Have already created few queries based on different DDL or let's say SQL components, right? So now, starting with DDL operations, first step would be to create a table, right? So if we try to create this table, right, it's a sample table. So it got succeeded, right? What does it has? It has ID, contact, and address, right? So how I can verify this table exists or not? So what we will do, we will use a select the DQL command, right? Data query language command to at least to ensure that the table is created or not, all right. So here I'll try to execute this. So if this table is like present, right, it will show at least the columns as mentioned here, right? If it is not present, that means it will so that table does not exist, something error like this, right? So now once we have the empty data, right, we don't have any table we have just have table and we don't have any records, right? So the next one of the operation which we can do is insert, right, where you will have to insert few records here, right? So we will try to insert this two records where if you see I have ID, contact, and address, and this is the statement which I have, right? So insert into the table name, right? What are the columns which we want to provide in this table that you have to mention, and values, then whatever the records you want to insert based on the same sequence which you have mentioned in the columns here, right? So make sure that you have the same sequence, otherwise you will get a mismatch of the records with respect to the columns, right? So I will try to insert two records with ID 1 and 2. Let's see. So now we have inserted two records, right, using insert operation, DML operation. Now, if you see, now the records are there, right, where ID, then the contact number, address is Mumbai and Bangalore for respective ID. Now, once I have data, right, what I can do then, next part will be maybe I can update as well, right? If you see DML other command, right, second command, it's an update command where what I'll do, I'll instead of using address Mumbai for ID1, right, I'll try to use Navi Mumbai here. So let's see how this update works. After updating, right, I'll try to use again the DQL command. So here now, if you see, I have updated using update keyword or update command of DML operation, right? So it is succeeded. Now again, suppose there will be some rows that are unwanted, right? Then what I will do, I will use delete this table, whatever the IDs you want. Another option is you can delete whole table, right, without any filtration using where clause. So yeah, I'll try to delete this, and now again I'll try to use DQL command here to fetch the record. So if you see, we have given delete from the table name, whatever the table name we have, and the ID or filtration, whatever you want to do, right? In this case, I have given ID equal to 2, hence it is removing only the second record, right? So these were the DML operations which we have, and now as I told you, right, after create we can have alter as well, right? If you want to see that, right? What are the columns or scheme of this table, right? Usually SQL Server or maybe other database also have something like information schema, right? So I have already created this query just for a reference. So if you see as of now, these are my three columns. If you see what I'll try to do using alter, I will try to change the varchar size of address column. Okay, so varchar is nothing but a data type which holds string related data, right? Or character data, we can say, right? Where you are existing it is 200. Now using this alter you are doing an extension up to 300 characters. So let me run this query. So command completed successfully. Now I'll use again information schema dot columns and then I'm passing my sample table name as well. So if you see now address, I have changed the character maximum limit of 300 records, 300 words or 300 characters basically, right? So now one question might come into your mind that this is alter which is doing the same thing as update which we have in DML, right? But no. So if you see one of the key difference in the delete and alter, sorry, update and alter is update is something which you are doing on table, right? And but not on schema level but on record level, whatever the data we have, right? We are playing with the data to update the records, but here we are modifying or altering the columns or schema related changes, right? So we are not changing the data but we are changing the schema of data objects. So this is the key difference of alter and update for DDL and DML operations. Now there is a part of deletion of objects as well, right? Then we have this truncate and drop, right? So coming to truncate, as I mentioned, truncate is something which will keep your schema intact, right? So if I try to do a truncate on this sample table, it will remove the records. Okay, I will try to fetch the records. Now I hope I don't have any records. So yeah, so truncate will delete the records. Okay, but now if I use drop, drop table name, then this got succeeded. Then if I try to hit this table again, you won't get it. It says invalid object, right? So you got the difference. Basically, truncate is something which will delete the records, but it will keep the table. But drop is something it will delete the table itself. Okay. So these were the few of the hands-on exercise which I planned, and I hope you got some information. And let's see in the next video.